want to get back to our team coverage of that breaking news of that partial building collapse in Surfside.
We've confirmed one person is dead. Let's get straight over to Madeline Wright. She is live on the scene. Madeline, what can you tell us about what's happening right now?
Good morning, JC and Gio. The fire rescue department tells me that one person has died, but it's not clear if that person died in the collapse or on the way to the hospital after the collapse. Right now, fire rescue is working to get information on how many people were injured, who that person is who died, and how many people are still trapped in the building needing to be rescued. This is happening at the corner of 88th Street and Collins Avenue right here in Surfside. It's this building which is about 12 stories tall. Within the last 45 minutes to an hour, we saw fire rescue with ladder trucks rescuing people floor by floor from their balconies. The building appears to not have power, so they were also rescuing people from underneath the rubble, as well as the people who were in nearby units that were not directly affected by the collapse. This is a major catastrophe that happened around 1:20 this morning. That's when a man named Santos Mejia told me on scene this morning that he got a frantic phone call from his wife, Janet Rodriguez, that she heard some kind of earthquake, and it was actually the building collapsing partially in the backside where the ocean is. She said that she was okay, and the 93-year-old woman that she was taking care of at the time was also okay, but if they had been just a few feet closer to the balcony, then they could have fallen off the edge. She had to wait several hours to be rescued, and she was very grateful to be finally on the ground and out of the building, but it was an emotional reunion when she and her husband met up. He had tears in his eyes. He was just so grateful that she was okay, but as many people as there are who are concerned about their loved ones, there are also people who are finding out that their loved ones may have been injured, and in the case of one person was killed. Now, back live, this is happening at the Champlain Towers condominium complex. It was built in about 1981, and there are more than 100 condo units. Again, we are waiting to find out how many people were injured and how many people need to be rescued. Stay with Local 10 on air and online as we continue to gather the latest. Live in Surfside, Madeline Wright, Local 10 News.
All right, Madeline, thank you. We need to get straight over to Syra Onwar. She's also live at that scene at a different vantage point. Syra, what are you learning?
East side of the South Tower. So, JC, we were finally able to get on the beach side where you can really get a close look at the just absolute destruction of this building. You can see where it collapsed, several floors. It looks like about 4 levels of that corner unit are just completely destroyed. We're seeing a lot of rubble. Those balconies are gone. We know, we've confirmed that there are people still trapped in this building. We watched ladder trucks up there getting people out of the building. We watched firefighters entering units through those ladder trucks, through those buckets. Again, this is the first you're seeing from the beach side on the ground. You saw those chopper shots earlier. This is from the ground. We're on the beach in Surfside. This is the closest look we have gotten so far. We aren't seeing first responders making rescues on this side. They are on the city side. But again, you're just seeing how destroyed this building is, and they are trying to keep people as far back as possible from this area to avoid any possible further collapse. There are people concerned running around looking for their loved ones, asking about people who are inside this building. But right now, police and fire crews are just keeping them as far back as possible. They are also keeping media crews as far back as possible. We managed to get to the beach side. We'll see how long we're allowed to remain here, but we just wanted to give you the closest view you're going to get from the ground of just how bad this is. Again, you can see at least 5 of the top floors are completely destroyed. The penthouse area of the building just gone here at the Champlain Towers in Surfside. So again, back out here live, you're looking at the beach side of the building. This is where the collapse happened here at the Champlain Towers. Still have a lot of questions for fire rescue crews who again tell us this call came in as a mass casualty event, but they haven't confirmed how many people have been injured or the extent of their injuries. The other side of the building is where they are triaging patients and then sending them to various trauma centers. We've got over 100 fire units here from both Miami-Dade and Broward counties. Right now, we're working to get information from any of those jurisdictions on what they can provide as far as how many people were affected by this just massive collapse.
And Syra, you mentioned very briefly there that you were talking, or at least saw some people frantically wondering what was going on and wondering if loved ones were perhaps still trapped inside. Have you talked to anyone recently where that is the case, or is it still a bit chaotic around you?
It is pretty chaotic. The last person I spoke to was asking for direction of where the triage area was. We pointed them to that direction. Unclear if they were able to find the person they were looking for. It's likely in a situation like this that they're all meeting in one area, such as a community center. We also saw those rescue units go to area hospitals. So it's likely that family members are trying to find out what hospital their loved ones may be taken to if they aren't still inside that building.
Just eerie to see those live pictures of furniture and parts of people's homes just collapsed in all that rubble, Syra.